How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Story of the Fight. This is Story of the Fight, where we talk everything MMA, fights, boxing, bare knuckle boxing, whatever. My name is Ramiro, the champion for 2021's championship predictions. I'm with my boy Will. What's up, Will?
What a belt.
Dude, I was thinking about just sitting here and not even saying anything.
just
staring. But, dude, I'm the champ. You know what I mean? So very much like Charles Oliveira. You know, I'm feeling the glasses right now. But I'll take it off. I'll take it off for the show. I'll take it off.
I mean, do what you must, you know. You're the champ. You get to do what you're. Let's see that, though. Let's see that thing.
Let me take this hardware down. You know what I mean?
Let's see it. Let's show that off.
Got the... Right?
Whoa.
That's pretty sweet, man. Yeah. Let me put the hardware down, though. It's a little heavy on my shoulder. Heavy lies the crown, you know?
Yeah, so they say. I wouldn't know.
But, yes, what I am looking forward to today, Will, is going through our predictions for 2022. That was probably one of my funnest episodes here from last year. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, me too. I'm just like thrown off by that that start with the sunglasses and the belt intro already.
Well, yeah, dude, I needed to make sure that I started this show like a champion.
I get it.
You know, so it couldn't be the same. It couldn't be the same. HLB coming through already this morning saying wouldn't be a Sunday without going to the church, the MMA church of Story of the Fight. Appreciate you very much, HLB. With that being said, you know, did we have Rich the Casual? By the way, Rich the Casual, our producer, in the background as well.
He didn't put any picks, I don't think.
Did he give us any picks?
No picks.
Okay. Okay, well,
we got no picks.
He's in and out, just like that.
Yeah.
All right.
So Ramiro got the belt. Yeah, Ramiro, let's just talk about the belt real quick. Everybody give us a like, subscribe, do all that stuff. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter at Story of the Fight.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're on the platforms for podcasts. I know. And we're getting there. We're getting used to it.
Whenever we talk, we're like, hey, maybe we're not growing as fast as we like. Also us not promoting ourselves. So,
I mean, what do you want, you know?
You get what you get.
But, yeah, we got the belt. The belt came in time. Surprised. I thought it was going to take forever to get. Got it in like 5 days. Ramiro gets it because he had one pick over me. This time, I have a feeling you somehow snuck and you found all my picks and you're just going to pick exactly the same as me. That way, if we're going to tie and you're just going to keep the belt in perpetuity, you're just going to.
Do I look like an Aljamain Sterling, bro? No, I win my titles fair and square. All right.
Yeah.
I win my titles fair and square. So I'm battling this one out. I'm going with my gut feelings, my predictions for 2022.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't go gut. I overthought everything and changed my picks like a bunch of times, and we'll see how that gets me.
All right. Let's go ahead and get started. By the way, for a lot of our regular listeners here, we reached out to them as well and asked them for their predictions of who's going to end 2022 holding these titles, holding these belts. So thank you very much, HLB, JPZ, Vic, Jorge, Navro, Katie, Coleslaw. We'll be sharing all these picks, and then it'll be fun to kind of compare versus our picks versus the champs' picks to see who mirrors my picks the most and yours as well, Will.
Yeah, plus at the end of the year, we'll go back like we did just a couple of weeks ago. Go back to this episode and have a scoreboard. If I beat Ramiro this year, he's gonna ship me the belt. Um, if he wins, then he's gonna keep the belt, obviously. And then whichever fan who gave us picks, if whoever gets the most right, they're gonna get a belt also.
Yeah, and it's going to be one of the little replica belts. It's not going to be as big as this one. But still, it'd be nice for everybody to kind of collect belts throughout the years to see how many they're able to pull off.
Yeah. And
All right.
HLB Comer, I know you're not here in the States, but we will pay for shipping.
For sure. Nevro in England.
Yeah.
Right? So I know we have a few listeners outside of the States. We'll make it happen either way.
Definitely.
All righty. With that being said, let's go ahead and get the predictions kicked off. We're going to start off with women's strawweight. Will, do you want to follow the same order as last week? I go first, you go next, then we go listeners.
Yep, I think it's perfect.
Fantastic. So
as long as you don't skip over me.
I'll try not to
on my picks.
I'll try not to. That was pretty funny last week, though. All right, my pick for women's strawweight: Carla Esparza.
Really?
Yes, really. And Will,
Man, going with that gut
feeling. You know, I haven't always been a big Carla Esparza fan, right? But I have seen her level of aggressiveness start increasing. Okay, look at her in this picture. She looks like a little ninja, dude, ready to go. Now, she reminds me very much of a Juliana Pena, where she is very tough. Sometimes too tough for her own good, but she's very tough. She has extremely strong wrestling, probably the best wrestling in her division. Okay. And I think that she would give Rose Namajunas a very hard time. And I think she finishes up with the belt, dude. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, she has a win over Rose already, right?
She does.
And I don't know what's going to happen with their fight, if it's going to get rebooked or if they're going to skip over her because of that cut she just got in that grappling tournament. Hopefully they just push it back because I think she is the number one contender. I do not have Carla Esparza. I am sticking with Doug Rose. I think she maintains throughout the year. I think if you look at the two of them and see who has grown more since they fought last, I think Rose has now eclipsed her and has gained some distance ahead of her. I think Carla has to take Rose down and control her on the ground. I don't think she finishes her on the ground. I think she basically has to control her for 3 of the 5 rounds. But I think with Trevor Whitman and what they've done with Rose, I don't think Carla will close that gap. She might take her down a couple times, but I think Rose, her distance management, her striking from the outside, I think she picks Carla apart. I think Carla's stand-up is not enough. I think Rose might finish her on the feet.
Okay.
And then
this might be the pick that separates us at the end of the year.
I know it could. And I think Rose, I don't know how long it's going to take for that cut to heal. It's a bad one that Carla got. And the irony is she filled in. Rose got COVID, was in a grappling tournament, got COVID. Carla stepped in and took Rose's place and then got a nasty gash on her forehead. But if that fight happens earlier in the year and Rose wins, she'll probably have to fight again. She'll probably fight the winner of that Marina Rodriguez fight that just got announced, right? And I think she probably wins that too. I think she'll have 2 title defenses this year, and I think she'll win both of them.
Ooh, okay. I mean, I could see that. Now, as far as our listeners go, we have HLB that went through with Rose, JPZ.
Hey, that's my guy.
Marina Rodriguez.
Ooh,
Vic,
she's coming.
Rose. Jorge, Marina Rodriguez. Nevro with Rose. And then we had Katie with Rose and also Coleslaw with Rose.
So I'm picking the favorite.
So it seems like most people are picking to go with you on this one, Will.
Yeah, and Rodriguez, she's fighting Yan Xiaonan, right? That got announced.
I believe so.
I think she wins that fight, and I think that puts her in contention.
Ooh, HOB brings up a great question. He says, no love for Joanna? Dude, she was completely inactive this last year, right?
Yeah, she's finally talking about potentially they're setting up the fight with her and Zhang Weili, the rematch, because she doesn't want to take a step further down. But if you listen to like both of them talk, like it doesn't seem like she really wants to get back in there. I think Joanna can beat anybody. I think she did beat Zhang Weili. But is there enough time for Joanna to come back, win a fight, and challenge for the belt again within the same year? I don't know. Does she have the skill set to be champ again? I think so. I just don't see it happening this year.
Let's say she beats Zhang Weili in like just super like obviously decisive or fantastic fashion, KOs her. Do you think she gets catapulted over to a title shot?
No, I think she would have to fight the winner of Rodriguez versus Yan Xiaonan.
Yan Xiaonan.
That's what I would do at least if I was a matchmaker. But
I mean, that makes sense.
What the hell do I know? You know.
All right.
I don't know shit.
All right. After that, we have women's flyweight. Will, last year I said this is an easy one for me. This year I'm going to say it's an easy one for me. I have Valentina Shevchenko, sir. Valentina Shevchenko. I just don't see anybody really challenging her for the belt yet.
Yeah, no, me neither. Yeah, maybe Pena, if she beats Nunes again, maybe she goes down or Valentina goes up. Who knows how that's going to go? I would imagine if they were going to fight, it would probably be at 135, you know? But yeah, I don't see anybody in that division currently posing a threat whatsoever.
I was very close to picking Cynthia Calvillo. Very close. Yeah. But no, I decided to stick with my guns. Valentina Shevchenko. So we have HLB with Valentina, JPZ Valentina, Vic Valentina, Jorge Valentina. Let me see here. We have Katie with Shukagian.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, snaps. Okay. And then Coleslaw with Valentina as well. Nevro, though, throughout Talia Santos.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Up and comer, man. Up and comer.
Yeah, really. Also, Katie's picks, she was picking them while I was doing it too, and I had the rankings up for her. Just picking names.
Just picking names, he says. This reminds me of the first year that Mindy played fantasy football with me.
Oh, yeah?
And, she wouldn't really know all the names, but then she'd go like off the mascots or like who's cuter. And that's not how it works. Guess how she ended?
She won or what?
She won I was so pissed.
Are you serious?
I was
Nice.
dude, furious. Anyways, all right, let's go with the next one here. Women's bantamweight. Division.
This is where things start to get interesting. Oh, I wonder who Ramiro picked.
I picked Juliana Pena. I picked Juliana Pena. Now, the way I think it's going to get there is where things are a little weird for me, right? Because I think that there's a rematch here soon. Okay. Katie coming through saying, have some respect. I agree, Katie. How dare this guy? But yes, Juliana Pena, I think that in the rematch, she loses to Nunes. And then I think by the end of the year, maybe a little bit past halfway through the year, Nunes retires. Pena fights for the title again. Now, this is craziness going on in my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what got
Charlie
me the belt. Dude, yeah, I'm like Alan from The Hangover with just all these things running through my head right now. Okay. But either way, Juliana Pena ends with the title again in 2022.
Okay. I think that Nunes comes back and beats Pena, like you said. And then I don't know if she fights again this year. I don't know. But if she does, she's going to beat Pena, and maybe they do a trilogy. I don't know. Or they say, the UFC says, thank God, and we're getting you back up to featherweight, and you're going to defend your belt in a super fight. And they forget about Pena because that's what the UFC does, because they're kind of shitty when someone wins that they didn't want to win. But I think Nunes does beat her in the rematch, and I don't know if the UFC is willing to risk a trilogy. And and Pena winning 2 out of 3 and kind of ruining Nunes's stock. I don't think the UFC takes that chance. What happened with Nate and Connor, right? Nate comes in, beats Connor. They do the immediate rematch. Now they're 1-1, and then there's no trilogy. Because what if Nate wins 2 out of 3 and it ruins Connor's star power? You know what I mean? It'd be the same kind of deal. So
And,
yeah,
I mean, even that, Nate still has a lot more star power than even like, let's say, Juliana Pena would, right?
Yeah.
So if they're not want to risk it with a Nate, I see what you're saying.
But they're not willing to risk it with Nate because they don't want to be proven wrong. Because they've said time and time again that the Diaz brothers aren't needle movers, as to quote Dana.
We know they are. All right, listeners, we have HOB with Valentina. So HOB thinks that Valentina will finish up the year as a champ, which is a
I can see it.
big possibility. Yes. We have JPZ with Nunes. Vic also says Valentina. Jorge also says Valentina. So we have multiple listeners saying, hey, double champ here. Nevro coming through with Holly.
Ooh.
Holly home. Yes. Is it the year that Holly gets her belt back? And then we have Katie with Nunes and Mr. Coleslaw here with Juliana Pena, my dog. There we go. Coleslaw.
There we go. Coleslaw.
Yeah. Coming through. He knows what's up, man. He knows what's up. All right. Next, we're going with women's featherweight. So this kind of adds on to my story. All right, Will?
Okay, yeah, it's all part of it.
Here we go. Picture this. We have Amanda Nunes. There you go. Close your eyes. Amanda Nunes beats Juliana Pena, gets her title back. She goes up and tries to defend her title against Kayla Harrison for featherweight. Loses against Kayla Harrison. Decides, that's it. I'm good. I don't want to fight anymore. Kayla Harrison ends the year with the featherweight belt. And it's still somebody that the UFC can market. Right? A good person to take over for Amanda Nunes in this weight class to try to keep it alive. And then, like I was saying, Juliana Pena fights for the vacant title by the end of the year. This is how it's all playing out in my head.
Yeah. So the way it plays out in my head is Nunes comes back, beats Pena. Not easy, but beats Pena. And then they don't do a trilogy. Nunes only has time for one more fight in the year. She's not going to fight 3 times. It's just not going to happen. Do they go with the trilogy with Pena, or do they do a super fight at featherweight? They go the super fight. Because if they do 2 out of 3 and she loses, then the super fight's gone. If she can come off a win, then they can go back up. And she got 2 belts. She's going to fight the featherweight. Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison's going to have to slim down a little bit. And Kayla Harrison's going to beat her and take the featherweight belt. And Nunes is going to retire. And Kayla Harrison will end the year with the belt.
You have Kayla Harrison too.
I do.
Fantastic.
I think she's too big, man. She's too big. If she can make 145, she's going to win.
She'd be a massive 145er.
Yeah.
The biggest. Okay.
She's already a massive 155er.
So that's very true. So we have HOB coming through with Nunes, JPZ Nunes, Vic Nunes. Nevro says Kayla Harrison as well. Katie says Nunes. And then we have, Coleslaw coming through with Juliana Pena ending the year as the champ. I like that. Now, I left Jorge's off of this. The reason being is because he predicts the featherweight division will be no more by the end of the year. So
not a bad pick.
In this case, even if Pena, Nunes, all these other picks don't end with the title, but the division is no mas, then we give that one to George. We have to.
George gets it. Yeah, he would get that.
Because that's a prediction. Nobody ends with the belt, is what he's saying.
Or does the division end with Nunes as the champ and everybody who picked Nunes gets the pick? Nah, we'll go to George. If the division ends, George gets it.
Yeah, got it. All right. We'll move over to the men's divisions. We have the flyweight division, which we're going to start off with. And, sir, my pick for the flyweight, who's going to end the year with the belt, Askar Askarov.
Not a bad
that
pick.
Picture.
Squished him a bit, but
it looks like he might be 4'8" in this picture. A solid 4'8".
Not a bad pick, man.
Dude, he's just been extremely dominant. When we think about his win against Pantoja, we think about God, what was the recent win that just absolutely broke my heart? Benavidez, right?
Benavidez, yeah.
And he's just been extremely dominant. I could see him just steamrolling his way through the title. Just depends on how quickly this happens because he wasn't very active last year.
No, but he is fighting Kai Kara France, I think in March, right?
I think so.
And if he beats him, he might get a title shot. But the problem is Pantoja is the number one contender, and Figueiredo is filling in for Pantoja because, he got hurt or something, right? So do they, after this fight, if Moreno wins, do they do the Pantoja fight? And then how many times is Moreno going to fight this year?
And that's what I'm saying. It depends on how quickly all this moves along.
Yeah,
he's going to be a champion. He's going to be a champion.
You think so?
I think Askarov is going to be the flyweight champion. The question is, will it be by the end of 2022?
Yeah, I could see it.
Who's your pick?
I'm hoping for the full wild card, and with my ride or die, I'm going with Manel Cap. Fuck it. Every year.
Second time's a charm, dude.
Because he will be the champ. It will happen.
And you think it's this year?
Belt's bigger than him.
It is.
Probably not, honestly, but just because it's kind of turning into a logjam. He would have to, whoever he fights next, it will determine if he even has a shot at the title this year. But I mean, he's coming off of 2 first-round knockouts. He's going to get someone high profile, I think, next.
He has a skill set.
He has the skill set. If he beats the guy, if he gets like another first-round knockout against someone near the top, I mean, that might catapult him. I mean, the dude's style is favorable.
Is this next title fight going through Moreno versus Figueiredo? Moreno, Figueiredo, one of them 2 winning, and then next time that they're trying to defend the title, somebody just falling off, either COVID or injury. Manel Cap coming off of a recent win that was spectacular, and they're like, "Hey, you want to just fill in on short notice?" Like, I could see something like that happening.
It could happen, and I mean, Royval's got a fight coming up soon. Kai Kara France is fighting Askarov. There's a chance that he'll fight one of those 3 next, depending on how their fights go. And if he gets an impressive win over one of those 3, you never know. And luckily, Moreno's fighting in a couple weeks, starting the year off early with this division, so there's time. But we'll see. It might be more wishful thinking than practical on this one, but
going with your heart. With your heart, dude.
Yeah.
All right. That's one of your man crushes right there, though, so I can understand why you would pick him over anything.
Come on.
HLB says Brandon Moreno. JPZ,
Nice.
Brandon Moreno, Vic Moreno. Jorge coming through with Askarov as well. Nevro with Moreno. All right. Katie, show her some respect, Will. She says Askarov.
Man. I know. When she picked him, I was like, ooh.
That's what I'm saying. Show her some respect. And then coleslaw. Kai Kara France.
Hey, if he beats Askarov, I mean, he's getting a title shot.
For sure.
And I would love to see him fight Moreno. What a great fight.
That would be a fantastic fight. But, man, with Kai Kara France just coming off of one of those big camps that's becoming really popular, I feel like they have a little bit of pull with the UFC now. So, it would be very doable. All right. On to the Bantamweight division. This is a fun division. But I have TJ Dillashaw.
Almost. Yeah, go ahead.
TJ Dillashaw, ending the year. He's looked pretty good on his return against Corey Sandman Sandhagen. And, he, correct me if I'm wrong, Will, he was suspended while he was still the champion, the Bantamweight champion.
He relinquished his belt.
Oh, before he was stripped?
Yeah, he technically was not stripped.
There we go. So I think he comes back.
A man of honor.
Some would say the most honor.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, but juice or not, by the way, that's so funny that he actually has like a juice company.
I know. Yeah. It's hilarious. I mean, the guy leaned into
so ironic.
It, No, it's not ironic. It was definitely on purpose.
It's like, I got all the juice. Here you go.
Yeah.
But yes, I think TJ Dillashaw ends the year with a bantamweight title.
I think if anybody is going to beat Piotr Jan, it's going to be TJ. And we know Dillashaw was going to be next. I'm talking about he has to take the belt from Piotr Jan. Like Aljamain's not the champ right now, but
But it's true.
I know he's the champ. Come on, but I think I think Piotr Jan beats Aljamain, and I think his next fight will probably be TJ, depending on how long his rehab's going to take. But my pick is Piotr Jan. I think Piotr Jan. I don't know if anybody can beat Piotr Jan right now. I really don't, dude. TJ,
he's that dominant.
It's not. I mean, he's so dominant because he reminds me of Fedor, just because there's nothing flashy. There's no tricks up his sleeve. He's just so perfect at what he does. Everything's tight. He makes reads flawless. Like, he makes reads better than anybody. His defense is so sound. And then when he starts going, people are like, oh shit, they just spent 2 rounds gassing themselves out basically, and now all of a sudden this guy's murdering them. I just don't know if anybody can beat him right now.
Okay, I mean, that's
he's too defensively sound to get caught. I mean, I thought maybe Sandhagen might be the guy that can beat him, but he couldn't, and I don't think TJ can either. He might, but if anybody's gonna beat him, it's gonna be TJ. But I think Piotr is gonna walk away with the belt. I think he's gonna have it for a while too.
Dude, he has the heart of a champion, TJ Dillashaw, and the energy that comes from EPO. So, yeah. Dude, this guy for me is he's gonna.
I hope that fight happens soon. I don't know where TJ's at with his rehab, but and I know people hate him, but love him or hate him, the dude puts on exciting fights every single time.
So, looking through our listeners' picks here, we had HLB with Jan, Vic with Jan, Jorge with Jan, Nevro with Jan, Katie with Jan. And let's see here. All right, we have 2 different picks. Okay. Ooh, yeah. So JPZ also came through with TJ Dillashaw.
Not a bad pick.
Coleslaw coming through with Sugar Sean, and he puts LOL at the end.
Yeah. Classic.
I love it. Oh, man.
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, dude. So if Sugar Sean O'Malley is able to move his way up through the ranks and become champion, you're talking somebody that might have pay-per-view draws a la McGregor.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think
so.
the UFC would love that.
Can he
and
beat
apparently
someone
Coleslaw.
Like TJ and Piotr Jan?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We have yet to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Featherweight division. So for the featherweight division,
this one was the hardest one for me.
I had a pick last year of Max Holloway, and this year I'm not changing it up. I'm saying Max Holloway this year ends the year 2022 with a title again. Okay, dude.
Yeah.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. In my eyes, he did not lose against Volkanovski.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know I'm not the only one that thinks that way.
No, that's a very common opinion.
Yes. So, dude, I wish that he wouldn't have gotten hurt because he withdrew from the rematch recently.
Yeah.
We've yet to see who's going to get that rematch or the fight against Volkanovski now, but I think that by the end of the year, we get the rematch, and Max Holloway shows everybody that he was really never not the champion. He's the best featherweight in the world, man.
Yeah, I typed out Max for my pick.
And then you deleted it.
And then I deleted it. Because I don't know what's going on with his injury. I don't know how long that's going to put him out. I don't know. I just don't know. And I'm thinking if they go Korean Zombie with Volkanovski, I think that's the most interesting fight they can make for Volkanovski outside of Max. And I think Volk probably beats Korean Zombie. And he might just want to be done with the Max shit. And he might be like, nope, I'll fight Giga Chikadze if he beats Cater. Or I'll fight Yair if he gets a win. Like, yeah, I don't know what Volk's going to do. He might be, because I know he was tired of sitting out last year. He wanted to fight more, and the whole Max thing was throwing him off already. So he might just be like, you know what, dude? Like, I'm done. Like, and Max might not even get a shot this year. I just don't know. So I'm going with Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski defends his belt against Korean Zombie if that's what they go with. I would like Korean Zombie to beat him. I would be much happier if Korean Zombie beat him. But I think Volk is just so complete. And I think he beats everybody else, not Max.
Yeah, yeah.
If he
I mean,
fights Max, I think Max ends the year with the belt. But I think Volk beats Korean Zombie. I think he beats Giga Chikadze pretty easily. I think he beats Yair pretty easily. He already beat Ortega. Ortega's going to have to get a win before he gets another shot. I think Ortega can beat him, but I don't see him getting another shot. So I go with Volk.
All right. Well, I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Will.
Yeah.
But for me, I think that he still continues hearing everybody chit-chatting about Max Holloway having won, and I think that he finally wants to put an end to this and say, you know what, as tired as I am having to wait for Max, as tired as I am hearing about this, like, I want to just put a stamp on this, win a third time, and just be done with this for the rest of my career and cement my legacy. Because right now, I don't know how secure he feels with this legacy.
Yeah, who knows? A lot of ifs in this. This was the hardest one for me to pick.
Yeah, and this was fun too. Like, when reading the listeners' picks, like, I started seeing what listeners and what everybody feels like about that division, whether there's a lock on that division or whether it's wide open, how fun the division is. So this one was probably the funnest one here. HLB coming through with quadruple C.
Ooh.
Henry Cejudo, maybe. I've said it before. If Henry's able to win the featherweight title, it'd be against Volkanovski. I don't think he beats anybody else in there.
I think he would beat Yair and Giga Chikadze. I don't think he could beat Max or Volk.
The only reason I'm saying is just because of the reach.
Yeah.
Because that would present a lot more trouble. Max, Yair, Giga against a Henry. But we all know, dude, that guy is just a different animal. As cringy as he is, Duke could fight.
Duke could fight. Did he beat Demetrius Johnson? I don't think so. Did he beat TJ? Yeah.
Hey, Sal D'Amato thought so.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. All right. Let's see here. John J. Peasy said Max Holloway. Vic says Max Holloway. Jorge, with his ever lasting love and man crush of Yair Rodriguez, says Yair Rodriguez. Nevro coming through with Giga Chikadze. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. Katie, T-City. I wouldn't be surprised if they say rematch with T-City. Fight of the year last year by ESPN.
I think, did he lose that fight? Yes. But did he prove that he can beat Volkanovski? I think so. And I think he can beat anybody in the division. I think he is definitely championship level. It's just in his 2 shots, he's fallen short.
Yep. And Coleslaw coming through, he also says Giga Chikadze.
Giga's getting some respect.
He is, dude. He is finally a Giga kick, man.
Yeah. The problem with him, in my opinion, though, is when he fights someone like Volkanovski, does he have the pace? Can he put the pace on for 5 rounds? I think Volkanovski probably tires him out. I don't know, but it's fun.
Maybe seeing Giga here in a couple of fight night headliners where he has to fight some 5-rounders.
Well, he's fighting this weekend, isn't he?
Is it? Oh, he is.
I think next week is Giga versus Cater.
Oh, that's gonna be good. Cater. This is the first time we've seen him back since we've seen him against Max Holloway, right? So
been a while.
It's been a while. All right, here we go. Lightweight Islam Makhachev is who I think is gonna win the year or end the year with a lightweight title.
Yeah,
dude, he's just been so dominant. And in his last fight,
that's the picture you chose.
Yeah, I know. So this is a picture I chose. You know why? You know why, Will? He's daydreaming. He's thinking. You know what he's thinking? 2022, I end year with belt. That's exactly what he's thinking in that picture.
Gotcha.
Okay? So, out of all the pictures I could have picked, this is the one. But for me, Islam Makhachev, dominant. He's the uncrowned champ right now. And no disrespect to Charlie Olives, but I just think that this guy is the next coming of his boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
do you think he takes the belt from Oliveira?
That's a very good question. I don't know if he takes the belt from Oliveira. I just know he ends the year with the belt.
Gotcha.
And you got Habib in the corner, dude.
Yeah, you do.
It's Dream Team.
Yeah, and Javier Mendez still.
And Hezbollah.
Hezbollah. Yeah, Hezbollah. Yeah. I think Oliveira is going to lose his belt to Justin Gaethje.
Ooh.
I like Oliveira a lot, but I think it's going to be tough taking shots from Gaethje.
And he's shown that he can get caught here and there, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? But I think Gaethje puts him out. And I think that Gaethje will defend his belt against Makhachev, and Makhachev will beat him almost identical to the same way he lost to Khabib. And I think it's going to be tough for Gaethje. It's like a second chance, right? But I don't think he's going to get through it. I think Islam Makhachev will become the champ at the end of the year.
Okay. So we have our listeners.
And there he is. Look at him.
Oh, coleslaw, right?
Yeah, at the Ross in San Jose.
That's fantastic. You know, considering that coleslaw is so close to Makhachev, obviously they're pals. They hang out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you would think that he would have picked. Yeah, they shop together. You think that he would pick Makhachev to end the year with the title? No, he didn't.
Damn.
So
the backstab.
Yeah, dude. Next time Makhachev sees coleslaw, he's just gonna say, "Lose my number, dude."
Yeah. HLB Comer says Oliveira will choke out Justin. I think that is a very high probability.
Ooh, it is a high probability.
I think one of two things are going to happen. Justin's either going to knock him out or Oliveira's going to choke him out. It's one of those two things.
How exciting is that fight, though?
Yeah, every Oliveira fight. That's the thing. We already know every Gaethje fight is exciting, but every Oliveira fight is exciting. It's just, I mean, you pair him up with anybody in that top 10, and it's a fun fight.
You know, I'm just hoping that Oliveira doesn't say like, Gaethje versus Chandler was so exciting, I'm going to make my fight more exciting.
No, he wouldn't.
I hope he doesn't.
No, he's a man on a mission, man.
Oh, I love that guy.
He's got something bigger than just being the champ. You know what I mean?
So that being said, coleslaw comes through with Charlie Olives, with Oliveira. Okay. Katie coming through with Oliveira. HLB. This is an interesting one. Beneil Dariush.
Ooh.
Beneil Dariush. JPZ, right on cue, actually.
Yeah.
Picked Makhachev. Vic Makhachev. Jorge Makhachev. And Nevro Oliveira. So.
What a fun division. Lightweight's one of the best, man.
Now, so let's say that Oliveira beats Justin Gaethje. I'm with JPZ, where I said Islam is probably the more dominant in the top 5 right now in that division.
Yeah, I think so. I think with hindsight, right? Hindsight, obviously. I think Islam versus Oliveira is a better version of Tony Ferguson versus Khabib.
Upgraded?
I think it's a better version. It's very similar.
That's a really good way to look at it. It's a really good way to look at it. All right, here we go. Next up, welterweight division. This one was a little tough for me.
Yeah, it kind of was for me too, actually.
It was
tougher than I thought it was going to be.
And same with the featherweight division. We had a lot of different picks here from our listeners. So I personally went with Kamaru Usman. Okay, I think Kamaru Usman still finishes the year with a title. I think he's going to have some of his toughest matchups this year. It's going to make things very interesting. But I think he has one more year in him, one more solid year. I don't think he's going to be as active in 2022 as he was in 2021. So I think it increases my chances of getting this pick correctly. But give me Kamaru Usman, 2022 champion at welterweight.
Yeah, I went with Usman too for the exact same reason. I think because of how active he was this past year, I think he's going to take a lot of time off, and I think he's going to be and there's things that need to play out, right? It seems like Leon's going to have to fight again. You got Khamzat coming up. He's going to fight probably Gilbert Burns, it looks like, is what they're saying. Bilal's there. I just don't know what, like, all that has to get settled before someone even gets a shot at Kamaru. I think Kamaru fights maybe once or twice this year. And I think he wins both of them. I think he beats Leon. I think he beats Bilal. Khamzat is a fucking wild card. I'm not going to even try to make a prediction on that because we've never seen him deal with adversity yet. But we've seen Kamaru deal with plenty of adversity, and we know how he can back it up. I don't know if that fight even happens this year. But I think Usman is going to end the year with the belt.
He won.
Hey, Natty, by the way?
All Natty.
Yeah, all Natty.
Marty is all Natty.
Look at those triceps.
He was my SOF award winner for Male Fighter of the Year. So I can't not pick him to be the champion the next year. You know, but we have Coleslaw that has Kamaru Usman as well. We have Katie coming through with Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards. Horse. He's been the dark horse for what feels like 4 years now.
I deserve a title shot. Yes. HLB says Hamzat Shimaev. It's possible. It's possible.
Very possible. I mean, I'm surprised they picked. He's talking about fighting Gilbert Burns because I really feel like they gave Bilal ranked number 5 just so that they could have Khamzat fight him.
So a couple things right now, right? HLB had said they're all on steroids, and that might be a possibility. But 10th Realm coming through saying Shimaev will fight for the title at the early 2023. That's exactly why I didn't pick Shimaev.
I think it's going to take a while.
He will fight for the title, but I don't think it's until 2023.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick.
How awesome is it that Shimaev is going through and setting fights up by himself against other top 5 fighters, and they're just sending the handshake emoji to each other like deal, you know? That's pretty cool.
But I do think the UFC gave Bilal ranked the 5th ranking spot to set up a shot for Khamzat, and it's not he needs to just let that happen because that's an easier fight, I think, than Gilbert Burns.
You think so?
If he takes down Gilbert Burns, he's got to be very careful.
Ooh, JPZ saying Arnold Allen will be a champion 2023. That's another good possibility.
2023, I would not be surprised.
Let's finish up with the rest of the listener picks here. We had JPZ coming through with Kamaru Usman, Vic Usman. Jorge also said Leon Edwards. And Nevro coming through with Vicente Luque.
Yeah, I love Luque.
I love Luque too. And now when I think about Luque, I think Kamaru can, if he focuses on his wrestling, can make it an easier night. But he's shown that he likes to stand recently. And Luque, when you get a standing matchup with Luque, man, can be one of the most dangerous in that division.
They used to train together all the time too. So it's like he might be like, oh, I got these new tricks up my sleeve from Trevor Whitman that you haven't seen since we used to spar, and try to bang with Luque. And I don't know if you want to do that.
I still got this killer right hand, dude, that never left.
Yeah. He's like, I don't have to learn anything new.
That'd be amazing. All right.
Yeah.
We move on to the middleweight division. This one honestly was pretty easy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with Israel Adesanya.
Mm-hmm.
Israel Adesanya stays champ by the end of 2022. He already beat Robert Whittaker. Right. Let's take a look at the rest of that division actually right now.
You got Cannoneers fighting Derek Brunson soon.
Yep. He already beat Marvin Vettori. He already beat Paulo Costa. Did he beat Jack Hermanson? I don't think they fought, right?
No. Yeah, they haven't fought.
I just don't see anything this year that can develop that's going to pose a giant threat to Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, because you have, I think, Strickland's fighting Uriah Hall, right?
Is he?
I don't know why I think that fight's happening. It might not be, but I think Strickland probably beats Uriah Hall if they're fighting, but Strickland would have to get another win after that to fight Izzy. Izzy might want to be like, oh, a new opponent, I'll take him. But match made in heaven for Izzy and Sean Strickland. I think he lights him up, probably knocks him out. Whittaker, if he beats him in their upcoming fight, they're gonna do 3 right away. They'll do an event in like Australia or some shit, and do the trilogy between them. And I think Izzy is gonna win. If they fight 3 times, Izzy I think beats him 2 out of 3. Even though I love Whittaker, and I don't know. I picked Izzy as well. I just don't see, like you said, anybody else being a threat except for HLB Comer, just mentioned in the chat, Alex Bejeda. But like he also said, I think it might be too soon for Bejeda. They're talking about matching him up with somebody. I forgot who he's getting matched up with. But I think Bejeda's not going to get a title shot this year. Maybe next year. But that's the only guy I could see posing a threat. I think Whittaker can beat Izzy, but if they fight 2 or 3 times, I think Izzy probably beats him 2 out of 3.
JPZ coming through and saying that, he's explaining his Arnold Allen pick, I believe. He used to train with my best friend back in Colchester, Essex, so I have to root for my guy. Hey, dude, we get it. Personal ties, bro.
Hey, man. Manel Cap, I think he's going to be champ at the end of the year. Will he get a title or not? Probably not.
Sometimes we just got to go with our heart.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just got to go with our heart. All right, here we go. Let's see here. So you picked Izzy Adesanya as well.
Yeah.
HLB. Adesanya. Picks, HLB picks Hamza to end champ.
Ooh, at middleweight.
And middleweight by the end of the year. And that's the thing. Like, we haven't really been talking about Hamza very much at middleweight, but that dude, don't forget, he could very easily fight back and forth between both of those weight classes. JPZ coming through with Izzy, Vic, Whitaker, Jorge, Whitaker, Nevro, Izzy. And let's see over here, Katie coming through with Izzy and Coleslaw, Izzy as well. So,
yeah. HLB Comer question: will Bobby come with a wrestling heavy game plan? I saw yesterday or the day before he said that he came in with the wrong game plan and figured that out very quickly in that fight and is changing his approach for this one. How much stock can you put into that, right? He's talking before the fight. He knows Izzy's going to see that. He might come out blitzing again like he always does, throwing that 1-2 high kick that he always throws. Not a good move. I think he saw the Gastelum fight and was like, oh, if I drag him into a brawl, there's a good chance here. And Izzy's like, let me just pick you apart every time you come in. So I would not be surprised if Bobby Knuckles comes out with more wrestling in this one. The difference is going to have to be how he enters. He can't just fly in with the 1-2 high kick. Izzy's just going to matador him and knock him out again. I would like to see more wrestling because that is how you're going to beat Izzy. You're not going to outstrike him. Not at middleweight, at least. It's not going to happen.
And then the problem comes in getting in close, right? You still have to be able to come in close to Izzy without taking any big shots. And he's so precise with the strikes. That's the biggest thing. I don't think that Izzy's the most powerful striker out there, but I think that he has some of the best accuracy out there. So I don't know. It's still up in there.
But I love the fight. I love the fight. I kind of hope Whitaker wins and we do a trilogy. I would love to see an Izzy Whitaker trilogy. I love Robert Whitaker, man. He's a cool guy. You seen the video of him with the spider?
No.
All right, I'll have to send you it. It's
all right.
It's hilarious.
All right, up next, light heavyweight division. Will, you could probably guess who I'm gonna pick to end 2022.
You could probably guess me too.
The light heavyweight title, but I'm going with my guy, Jiří Procházka. Look at that. The samurai, dude. The absolute samurai. He was a champ in Ryzen, right? I feel like he has the experience. And I think he has some of the most unique striking and some of the best footwork in the division. Now, nobody showed the current champ any respect. I'll let you share your pick, but dude, I was shocked. Reading all the listeners' picks. Yeah, nobody picked Glover.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, George picked him last year. He picked him at the beginning of last year. He got it. And, no loyalty, I guess. But my pick is also Jiří Procházka. And I went with a picture from the same exact photo shoot as you did.
Fantastic.
Dude's, like you said, Ryzen champ. You know how much stock I put into that. I told you when he made his debut, watch out. This guy's about to take over this division. And he's had 2 fights, and the guy's a fucking madman. I think Glover is a terrible matchup for him, style-wise. Mm-hmm. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Glover can weather the storm, take him down while he gets wild, and grind him out like Glover always does. But I think Procházka will be more patient, and I think he'll pick him apart and finish him in the first couple rounds. And I think anybody else in that division, I don't think they beat Procházka. I don't see it.
10th Realm coming through, and this is a very interesting pick here. He says, I think Glover beats Jiří and Rakic beats Glover.
I could see that. I could definitely see, like I said, the style-wise, Glover is a match made in heaven to spoil the party on Procházka.
Yeah, and he says Jiří's ground game is a little sus. We saw it against Dom Reyes.
Mm-hmm.
right? We saw it against Reyes.
Yeah.
So,
And
all right,
we've
let's
seen
see,
it. He lost to King Mo in Ryzen because of the wrestling. I mean, he's out there hit punching trees. That's not going to help his wrestling. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But
he looks like Goro, is what HLB says. Who's Goro?
yeah,
Is that the guy from Mortal Kombat? Am I thinking of the same guy?
yeah,
That's fantastic. All right.
that's fantastic.
I bet you Richard Casual is probably super excited at the video game reference right now.
Yeah.
In the background, he's celebrating. All right. Our listeners, Katie, Coleslaw, both come through with Yidri as well. Vic, Jorge, Nevro all come through with Yidri Prohaska as well. And then we get some changes. We saw 10th Realm going through and saying, Rakic probably ends the year with the title. HLB says Ankalev.
Ankalaev. Not a bad pick. Ankalaev
Right?
is nasty.
Yes. And then JPZ also had said Yidri, actually. So just a couple different picks. But for the most part, it seems like everybody thinks light heavyweight will be ending with Prochaska as champion.
Makes me happy.
Makes me very happy. All right. Now, who do you think will be the baddest man on the planet by the end of 2022? This
was tough, man. This was a tough one.
Last year I had picked.
Oh yeah, you first.
Well, last year I had picked John Jones.
Yeah, your favorite fighter of all time.
Yes, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
Right? And as much as I hate to say it, I think that this is the year that John Jones ends the year with the 2022 heavyweight title, right? And I had to pick a very dramatic picture for this.
Surprised you didn't pick a mugshot.
Oh, dude, I was thinking about it, really. It's so funny you say that. But it just depends on his psyche, man. Where's he at? Does he really want to do this? And he's been training. He's been weightlifting. He was inactive all of 2021. And you saw what happened with his wife after he had won an award and inducted into the Hall of Fame.
The same night.
I just don't know with this guy. All I know is that he could possibly be the best fighter of all time.
Yeah.
So if this guy decides to fight just twice next year, just 2 times, he wins the heavyweight title.
I think he only needs to fight once. I think if he comes back, they're going to give him a title shot. I think if Francis beats Cyril Gane in 2 weeks, he's not going to come out. I think if Cyril Gane beats Francis, which I think he will, I think then we'll start hearing John Jones coming back. I think John Jones is willing to fight Cyril Gane more so than anybody else for the belt because he knows Cyril Gane will point fight with him, and he probably thinks, yeah, he's bigger than me, but skill-wise, I can beat him in a point fighting match. So I think he'll take that fight more than he'll take a Francis fight. And I do think they will give him a title shot right away just because he's never lost. He relinquished the belt to come up to heavyweight. No one's ever taken the belt from him. He's never lost. But I do think Cyril Gane's going to beat Francis, and I think nobody's going to beat Cyril Gane. He's going to lock that shit down. And I think Cyril Gane's going to end the year with the belt. Could I see John Jones beating him? Yes, but look at him. I think Cyril Gane.
Look at him, he says.
I think Cyril Gane's gonna be too much for John Jones. I think he's just gonna be too much.
Wow.
10th Realm agrees. I think Gane finishes the year with the belt. I think he's gonna take it from his old sparring partner, and he's gonna make him look silly. And of course, all this goes out the window when Francis lands that one uppercut in the first round and turns his lights off. But I think Cyril Gane is the best heavyweight. Skill-wise in the UFC right now.
Okay. Let's see if the listeners agree. So we have Coleslaw comes through with Cyril Gane as well. Katie comes through with Stipe. Now, if that were to be the case, you know how happy I would be?
I'd be so happy.
I'd be so happy. I like Cyril Gane a lot. I like Ngannou. Mm-hmm. John Jones,
Yeah.
But
I think Stipe can beat Cyril Gane.
Dude,
style-wise, I think
love to see that
fight.
I would love to see that fight. All right, let's see here. HLB says John Jones as well. JPZ says John Jones as well. Vic coming through with Cyril Gane. Jorge coming through with John Jones. And Nevro coming through with Cyril Gane as well. So, there we go.
Fun division. All of a sudden, heavyweight's fun again.
All of a sudden. And like you said, let's be more active. More than one heavyweight title fight a year, please. Give us at least 2. One in the beginning of the year. Maybe one like the beginning of fourth quarter.
We have one in 2 weeks.
Yeah. There we go. Let's get that one out of the way. And then maybe one in the beginning of the fourth quarter that will give them enough time to recover for the beginning of 2023. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
HLB says Stipe could maybe make 205. I don't know.
I think he could. I think
You
he
think
could.
he can?
He fights around like 230. There's fighters that cut from 230 to 205.
Ooh.
If he wanted to, he could just slim down a little bit and make that cut, I think.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah, I think he's a little too old for light heavyweight now, though.
If he does that, he just misses everybody's picks up, though.
If he goes to light heavyweight, he will be the champ.
That's what I'm saying. He misses everybody's picks up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
That's all the divisions. Look at that.
It's all the divisions. So that being said,
Who will end the year with our belt?
2022 champion prediction.
I think I will.
I don't know, man. You know what? Let me just pick this belt up. Oh, I'm going with Ramiro. There we go. I'm gonna start talking in third person now. Ramiro wins the title.
Oh no.
2022 champion. Lock it in right now. Look at that, dude. Look at that. Where are my sunglasses? Shit, I lost them. And I just set them down too. But dude, come on. I'm gonna be the reigning champ all the way through. Lock it in right now.
I think it's sick, dude.
Oh, it's pretty sick. I like it. It's gonna be on my shelf. It's gonna be on my shelf right back here the entire time, so you can see it every time.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, he says. All right. Thanks. Big thanks again to all of our listeners. I mean, we had 7 people submit their picks, and we know that takes time.
Yeah, it does.
Because you based off of the picks that everybody made, there was some thought that was put into this, regardless of what Will says about Katie's picks. Regardless, I know that there was thought that was put into them. So I really appreciate everybody taking the time to go through, fill out picks for every single weight division. It made this so much fun. And like I said, as I was going through and as I was reading them, and I'm sure, Will, as you were listening to the picks, it's very interesting to see how the listeners and how everybody else views all these different divisions.
No, definitely. And it's sick because, like I said, whoever gets the most picks out of the listeners, they're going to get a mini version of that belt. And I feel like that's so sick. I'm glad we found that website.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think, how about this? How about we, this is everybody on the live stream, right?
Undisputed Belts, by the way. Undisputed Belts. Shout out to them.
Yeah. If anybody comments on this after it's live and comments their picks before the next UFC on January 22nd, I think, is Francis versus Cyril Gane, Moreno versus Biggie, you qualify. So if you weren't on the live stream and you didn't, and we couldn't get picks from you before we did this, comment on it. And once this is done being live, right, put the comment down because we'll lose it if you put it in the chat. That way we can reference that. And as long as you're before that UFC event, 10th realm, put your picks after this is done being live. Put your picks in the comments and you'll qualify
for a replica, smaller size version of the beautiful SOF belt, the coveted belt. There we go.
Coveted belt.
Right. I'm looking forward to this 2022, Will. We got fights here starting up here very soon. We're going to be able to start doing fight recaps again, maybe some fight companions. Who knows? Trying to get some more fighter interviews lined up. Big shout out to everybody that was listening, though. Everybody that HLB says so shiny. I know.
Yeah, it's a glossy
that participated. And that's all I got. Do you have anything else, Will?
No. Looking forward to Cater versus Chikadze. Thank you, everybody. That's it.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, the Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter, especially on fight nights. And then hit that notification bell on YouTube so you can be notified whenever we happen to do anything, whether it's a fight night, we post anything, we go live, you'll see us. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening to Story of the Fight. We really should have had Rich make his picks too. That would have been interesting.
I know.